In 2012, the Rugby Football League commissioned a review to look at our primary game as a whole, looking at, in particular, the problems that were being faced by bad touchline behaviour by parents and coaches, but also the rules of the game in terms of what we were providing for our youngsters to give them the best opportunity to flourish as young rugby league players. As a dad myself of an 11-year-old son playing rugby league, I can fully understand the frustrations, and I'm certainly not the perfect parent in any means when it comes to games. I get involved with the emotion, the occasion, wanting my child to do well, and quite often lose the sight of a lot of things that I actually go out there and preach about in terms of what is important. Kids really don't care whether they win or lose half the time. There is certain points as they progress that it does become a little bit more important for them. But really, in terms of primary rugby league, kids don't care. 5 minutes after the game, they forgot whether they've won or lost. What they are concerned about is the number of touches they've had on the ball, the amount of game time they played, the position that they played. You know, how many times they passed the ball, kicked the ball, did they do a good tackle? You know, those are the sorts of areas that our children really are concerned about. And the kids go home. You know, by the time they go home, they have a quick bite to eat, they have a shower, they go out and play, and they go on to the next stage of their life. It's us quite often as parents who are actually the ones who are concerned. The kids are worried, the kids are worried whether they won or lost. It's a direct reflection of us. And again, you know, I will use first-hand experience. I've been there myself and gone home and argued with the missus over something what might have happened during a game, of a 10 or 11-year-old game, and it's wrong, and we need to fix that as our overall strategy in terms of what we're trying to do. Winning all the time as well, I must say, how many people will know people who have been superstar players from the age of 11 all the way through to the age of under 16 and have never gone on to have a professional career. Winning all the time, being in the best teams all the time, isn't always the best solution. It isn't always the best way for our players to be the very best they can be. We do a presentation as part of the England presentation about some of the very best players that we have playing our game, and Jamie Peacock is a classic example, who was a junior player, was never in the best teams, was never the number one player, the number star player, but has been the captain for the last 10 years of our national team until he announced his retirement last season. And winning all the time means you miss out as a young person in terms of dealing with adversity, overcoming difficulties, dealing with disappointment, rejection at times, and these are all very important parts for a young person growing up to be able to overcome, to actually flourish and be a very good person as well as a good sportsman in whichever decision they choose to make. Again, some of the benefits of the scheme that we're rolling out, the Primary Rugby League scheme, the small-sided games, is a huge aspect of that. And it really struck on me, and a personal experience myself, when we turned up for a game for my son's team again, and there wasn't enough players to fulfil an 11-a-side fixture. The other team only had 5 players. We had enough players, but they only had 5 players. They didn't want to borrow players from ourselves. We decided to play 5 versus 5, and without doubt it was probably one of the best games that we've had. Every player involved had so many more involvements. Every player came off that pitch knowing that they'd made a contribution in the games. And again, as I go back to the original point, I don't think anybody knew whether they actually won or lost that game. It was just a good old-fashioned 5-on-5 with everybody getting involved in the game. They are children, they are adults. Quite often we're trying to lead our lives through our children. We want them to be successful in some of the areas that we've possibly failed. And we just need our kids to enjoy, keep playing, keep turning up. The winning and losing, that will come. There's plenty of time for that as the kids grow older. But at this moment in time, the small-sided games, the number of involvements, the enjoyment, the fun, kids just want to be exposed to that.